Firstly is planning. There has to be a good balance between doing things in a well planned fashion, as well as sometimes just taking a chance and doing something which is out of the plan. But the most important thing is to understand how much you can ride in a day, and if it's a multi-day tour, not let fatigue build in.
Okay.
We have a natural tendency as motorcyclists to be a bit egotistic,
Yes.
We always want to say, okay, I did so many kilometers in a day, but I think like my personal preference always is to do a relaxed ride. I used to do that as well, when I
Okay.
used to tour back in the day, where I wanted to just cover distances.
Yeah.
But eventually that thinking has changed and evolved into a more relaxed pace, where I can be recovered better the next day, which makes me a much safer rider as well.
Sure.
That's one for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing, like we all know, is hydration is very important.
Yeah.
So carrying a good amount of water in your backpack, taking enough breaks, and generally I tell people when they ride off-road especially is that if you start feeling thirsty, it's already too late.
Yes.
So you need to stay ahead of the curve in this manner. And the third most important thing, not just with riding but in general, for any sort of training for sport, is basically getting good sleep.
Yes.
That goes really a long way in keeping your cognitive functions running. So if you are on a multi-day trip, like a week or 10 days or even longer, it's really important that we pace it in a way that you're able to get good sleep and recover. As you have experienced also, off-road riding is an extremely dynamic sport.
Yes.
So agility is really very important. You need to be agile on the bike, but it's more of the lower part of the body that holds the motorcycle is kind of stable. It's your anchor, and the upper part of the body is more agile, and you carry your movement through the hips, moving back and forward, sometimes even sideways. But the sport is about agility. So I would say, yeah, really important. There's also the element of navigation. You have to find your way. It's not about just speed. So I think that is something unique that draws me into it. It's not all about speed, but you have to put a lot of thought into it, right? But I think another very important aspect of rallying in general is that the races are very long. Rallies generally, cross-country rally is a minimum of 5 days, and something like the Dakar is 14 days, right? And each of those days are different in terrain, in what you don't know what's coming, and you have to handle the situation, right? And that is very closely matched with what we face in life as well.
Yes.
So if you take about a typical day in rallies, you are going to be a few hours where you're really enjoying the riding, whereas the terrain gets tough for a few hours, and you really have to push your limits. You have to find that energy and really dig deep.
True.
And I think that is what makes this sport so unique, because it has life lessons basically. There are a lot of things you learn in cross-country rallying that can be translated into your life and how you handle, let's say, adverse situations.
Yes.
Rally racing also builds a lot of resilience, because every day you will go through highs and lows. There will be times like, you will be questioning why are you actually, doing this form of
True.
sport. But the next moment you're in some really beautiful terrain and really doing triple-digit speeds, and the great adrenaline rush that you get from it. So I think that is really, really key. And I think personally it has also helped me, change my outlook towards life. The more I have raced, you see so many situations, you see difficult situations, but you know that you need to overcome them.
True.
And I think that is a great thing, and that's what I think makes the sport really, really great.
Sure. It really makes sense, the correlation. Thank you so much for giving this explanation. It really makes me understand now your reason for falling in love with the cross-country rally.
My pleasure.
Thank you.